It was a quiet Sunday morning in Forsyth, Georgia. The sunlight filtered through the kitchen window, painting the countertops gold. Trent Johnston sat at the head of the table, sipping his coffee and flipping through the sports section of the local newspaper. But his mind wasn't on football scores or headlines. It was on something, or rather, someone, closer to home. Liz. His daughter had been through a whirlwind over the last few years. The ups and downs of her relationship with Brice were no secret to the family, or the TLC cameras. Yet lately, something had shifted. There was a different kind of glow about Liz, and Brice had been around more often, showing up to family dinners, helping Amber with yard work, even joining Trent for the occasional fishing trip. "You know what?" Trent said out loud, startling Alex and Emma, who were spooning cereal beside him. "I think those two are gonna get married." Emma's spoon clattered into her bowl. "Wait, what?" Alex leaned back in his chair, eyebrows raised. "You serious, Dad?" Trent gave a slow, thoughtful nod. "Mark my words, Brice is gonna put a ring on it. Sooner than you think." Later that day, Amber caught Trent out by the shed, repairing a broken hinge. She walked up with a towel in one hand and a look of amused disbelief on her face. "So I hear you've turned into a psychic now." Trent laughed, wiping his hands. "Word travels fast in this house." Amber folded her arms. "You really think Brice and Liz are headed for a wedding? I mean, after everything. The breakup, the moving out, the on-again, off-again thing." Trent nodded. "I know what I see, Amber. I see a man who's learning to show up. He's not just here for Liz, he's becoming part of us. That means something." Amber looked skeptical, but there was a softness in her eyes. "I don't want her to get hurt again." "She's grown," Trent replied. "They both have. And I trust Liz. She's her mother's daughter, strong, smart, and stubborn. She wouldn't stick around unless she saw something real." Amber smiled. "All right, Mr. Wedding Whisperer. If you're right, I get to pick the first dance song." "Deal," Trent grinned. A week later, Brice asked Trent to go fishing, just the two of them. That alone was a sign. Trent had been waiting for a moment like this. They set up by the lake, casting lines into the still water. "I gotta say," Trent said casually, "you've gotten better at baiting that hook." Brice chuckled. "Yeah, Liz taught me how to stop making a mess of it." A pause settled between them, comfortable but weighted. Brice cleared his throat. "Mr. Johnston, I wanted to talk to you about something." Trent's eyes didn't leave the water. "I figured you did." Brice took a deep breath. "I love Liz. I've made mistakes. Hell, we both have. But I've never stopped loving her. I've been thinking about what comes next. And I want your blessing to propose." Trent turned to him slowly. "You sure about this?" "As sure as I've ever been," Brice said, voice steady. "She's it for me." Trent didn't answer right away. He let the silence stretch, the weight of the moment sinking in. "Then let me give you some advice," he finally said. "Marriage isn't a Hallmark movie. It's 1,000 tiny sacrifices. 1,000 quiet choices to keep showing up. Are you ready for that?" "Yes, sir," Brice said. Trent smiled. "Then you have my blessing." While Brice was pouring his heart out by the lake, Liz was in her room talking to Anna. "I don't know," Liz said, fidgeting with her necklace. "Things are really good between us, but I've been here before." Anna raised an eyebrow. "Yeah, but you're not there now. That's the difference." "He's been consistent," Liz admitted. "Showing up, being patient. Even with all the cameras around." Anna smirked. "You're glowing. You know that." Liz blushed. "Shut up. I'm serious," Anna said. "And if he proposes?" Liz hesitated. "I'd say yes." Brice spent the next few weeks secretly working on the perfect proposal. He enlisted help from Emma and Jonah to plan a family picnic at the same field where he and Liz had their first kiss. Trent pretended not to know anything, but every time he looked at Liz, he smiled just a little wider. On the big day, the Johnstons gathered under a white tent, surrounded by twinkling lights and wildflowers. As the sun dipped below the trees, Brice asked Liz to take a walk. They wandered down a short trail until they came to a little clearing where a blanket was laid out and fairy lights danced in the breeze. Brice dropped to one knee. Liz, you've been my best friend, my greatest teacher, and my biggest adventure. Will you marry me? Tears welled in Liz's eyes. Yes, she whispered, then louder, yes. Cheers erupted from the family hiding nearby. At the celebration dinner, Trent stood up to give a toast. The room quieted.